Hello YouTube friends, it's Trisha here, and welcome to my little corner of the internet where today I'm going to be talking about the most recent episode of The Bachelorette, Michelle Young's season. And this was week 6. So in this episode, her students are going to be choosing the dates, planning everything out, and all I was thinking was, I gotta get these kids to plan my dates because they were so cute. Like, the dates themselves were amazing. Can you imagine going on a limo ride just to eat pizza and candy? Awesome. So the kids were dropping gem of a lines left and right, and although that one kid, and he was kind of the best, which I wonder. So he looked really young compared to I believe his name was Luke. Even the way he spoke, like something about him felt so young in comparison to the other kids, which then, like, I was just thinking about it. Maybe he actually isn't even one of her students. Like, maybe he showed up with his parents and like his older sibling who's actually in her class, and then was just, spouting brilliance, and a producer was just like, you could just, be someone who skipped a grade or two. But however happened, we got Luke and all of his just ace lines that he just kept on saying. All the kids were really clued in. I will say that I kind of agree with Martin when he says that you can like trust on two people to tell the truth, and it's drunk people and kids. Of course, he's also the one that got called out by one of them. Clayton got brownie points because who doesn't like building a fort? The inner kid just came out, or producers nudged him to do that. Whatever it be, it won. Of course the kids were really gonna like him, and even if it was a producer that sort of gave him the idea, he was really great with the kids. So this whole episode was this whole episode was the producers showing us that this is the reason why he is your next bachelor. Clayton gets the one-on-one, and I can see in comparison to everyone else, it probably came down to Rodney and Clayton, honestly, for who would get this one-on-one date. So yeah, they go through the museum and it's a lot of fun. I mean, Clayton kind of killed it on that maiden dance. He really got into it, and there were some moves that looked very bird-like but also humanoid, and anyway, I just thought it was a good job. Getting down the butterflies, and there's prompts on them to have them talk about stuff, and clearly Clayton has had quite a bit of growth, and I would say recently, and I totally get that because I sort of had a spurt of like personal growth happen sort of suddenly, and grappling with that, and when you're in the beginnings of it, you're very like, that's sort of all you're thinking about, because it's almost like you've made this revelation, even though you might have been told by other people, friends or whatever, but it's until you kind of see it for yourself, it doesn't really, the marvel of it just, I feel like he's sort of freshened that. That he's really made a mental sort of shift, and he does bring it up in their dinner portion that he really had a clue, like check in and be like, who am I doing all this for, and why? So yeah, this was his bachelor audition. And I don't know if the producers had kind of decided by this point or not that he was going to be the next bachelor, but I would say that it definitely set in as he was going over his conversations in the dinner time portion. And Michelle, she heard him, reflected, and it's just, there's no connection. I found it interesting, the whole next day with her kids coming back. One, did that happen at the same time? And two, what did the producers do? Just get a couple of kids that like they noticed had a really close connection with Clayton, pulled him out of class and say, so he didn't get chosen by Michelle and he's feeling kind of down. Why don't you write him a letter to cheer him up? Like, how did that go down? Anyway, so yeah, they show us, which unprecedented, but you know, just Clayton getting these letters and he's getting emotional and he says the magic words that really locked in his place as next bachelor. He will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. To have that lifestyle, to have that wife and kids, and he's ready to be a family man. You know, I sort of feel bad for Clayton because we all have been watching this season really scrutinizing his every word and move and just wondering why. Like, why was he chosen to be the next bachelor? And that's going to be hard to, I mean, I'm sure he's maybe not mine, but I'm sure he's watching like other people's recaps, some of these bigger actually Bachelor Nation former contestants and leads, their podcasts, and everyone is talking about, why is this guy our next bachelor? And that's got to be sort of hard hitting. I mean, at the base of it, I think he's a great guy. I think he's nice. He's clearly had some growth and we love to see that, you know, some personal checking in with oneself and just wanting to do better, be better. I mean, I'm not faulting him in any sort of way. It's just, if we didn't know that he was the bachelor, I don't think he would have stood out so much while we were watching. I mean, this season, a lot of the guys have such depth of character and, you know, they're amusing, they're funny, they're puppy love sort of energy, Brandon. You know, they're sweet and they're goofy, or they're reserved and calm, cool, and collected, or they're just like chill and laid back. Like, they all sort of have these traits to them, and all we really see about Clayton is he likes to play games. He likes sports. And really just the odd line where he was dealing with some man drama. Anyway, I guess we'll see in the next season of The Bachelor how Clayton does as being bachelor. Moving on to the group date. Michelle and the guys are going to a farm, and over here we find that Joe is finding his calling. He should have been working on a dairy farm, and obviously we find out later on in the night portion he grew up helping out on the dairy farm. So it's like, oh, okay. That's why. Rodney was really funny during this date. Nate kept making little moments, which, you know, sweet, although the calf did not go to him. Oh yeah, Martin was not feeling the date, which was kind of funny to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny. Okay, so the night portion. Olu, I do like how he brought it up with her. I don't know, maybe he knew that he didn't really have a chance of going into hometowns. I'm not sure. Either way, I was really happy with the way he brought this up, where he's like, I want to tell you something, and this is not to benefit me in any way. I'm just looking out for you. And he was really like guarded in the way he was telling her. So Olu lets Michelle know that Martin said Why do I feel like that scene where Hermione was going to Harry in like the fourth Harry Potter movie? Where Ron said that Parvati told him from Dean that Hagrid's looking for Oh. Oh my god. Sorry. It's really not that funny. It's early. So Olu tells Michelle that Martin said that he feels it's immature that she hasn't dealt with her childhood trauma, which, sir, no. Like, immature. No. People, one, I mean, I have no place to say this because obviously I didn't live Michelle's life, but to call it trauma, I don't know, feels a little drastic. I mean, maybe that's also just me. I tend to think about my past troubling history or whatever as matter of fact. You know, it's just, those were the events and that's how my life played out. So I might just be projecting a little over here, but you know, that aside, to call it immature that she hasn't dealt with it, people have their own journeys. You can't rush it, you can't force it, you can't, like, no. So to call it immature, no. And Michelle, the most calm, cool, and collected, level-headed person who can handle, and oh, how she handles them later. Anyway, no. Like, that's all I can say. And so she, of course, pulls him aside to kind of bring it up with him and address it. Every, like, every little mini reaction that Michelle had to Martin just blatantly disrespecting her was mirrored across every woman's face. It was definitely mirrored in mine because I was just like, excuse me. She's responding. Give her a chance to get her thought out. And do not, my love, no, no. What are we, in the early 1800s? Like, no. Do not grab my hand and my love me when I'm upset, and I have a right to be upset. You know, Martin does have this habit of sticking his foot in his mouth, but he must really like the taste of his foot because he just, like, will shove it further as opposed to gradually pulling it out. Like, obviously, she's like, I've lost trust in you, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Handled it much better than I would have. Because, oh God, just, it's not even just respect towards a woman, just as a human being, like, being considerate. Which of course he bumps it up to 5,000 in the limo, and his parting words from the show, which, okay, I have to wonder,